I pissed off my whole high school friend group with one story. So I told a story on here a few years ago from one of my buddies' birthday parties, our senior year of high school. And I said some things about a girl, like I improperly described her medical condition, and it was fucked up. Like I'm laughing because I'm telling the story of the aftermath of this, but it was like I'm willing to admit like what I said was a dick thing to say. Never have said I'm perfect on here. Never said there are things that I'm not embarrassed or ashamed of doing in my life. And I've also said a lot of things that make me want to put my foot in my mouth. But that's called living and learning. You make decisions, you deal with the result of those decisions, and whether they feel like the right decision or a mistake, you chose it, you own it, and you move on from it. That is the best way to just grow and develop in life, because at that point, you're being yourself instead of trying to please the crowd. As long as you are the one making the decisions, the results of that, and how you deal with them, at least it's your decision. So, with that being said, I took a lot of heat from some of my good friends from high school that I still talk to, and I took some indirect heat from some of the girls I used to hang out with in high school, which I wasn't even aware of till one of my buddies was like, "Hey man, this is what you said. You brought a lot of heat on yourself. Not sure if you're aware, but you better watch it out there for your own sake." Like that type of thing. And I'm like, "Okay, that's cool." Here's my biggest pet peeve with the whole situation. All the people that were upset about what I said were the same people that made all the same comments and the same type of jokes that I put on that particular episode, rude or not, wrong or not. They just did them behind her back. That was my high school career, right? Like I was always the one that was saying and doing things that you could say, "Ooh, that was embarrassing. Ooh, shouldn't have done that. Ooh, crossed the line," you name it. But the reason I'm okay telling all those stories on here is because I just lived and learned. Like I own what I did. It may not be pretty. I might be an asshole at times, but at the end of the day, I'm growing and developing as a person and trying to get better. And and that was always my pet peeve with some of the people that I was friends with, or quote unquote friends with in high school, is the lack of genuineness. Yeah, I might make mistakes. I might say things that I shouldn't. Like you could sit here and go through a list of a book of things that I've done that I probably shouldn't have, right? But at least it was my decision. I learned from it. And at the end of the day, the biggest thing is like at least you know what you're getting from me. It's not always perfect. It's not always great, but it is what it is. And ultimately what that is genuinely me. And when you're genuinely yourself, you attract people who genuinely understand you. And those aren't just in friendship, that's in relationships, that's in business partners. Like everything you do, if you're genuinely yourself, you're honest, and you just own who you are and what you do, then you're going to attract people that genuinely enjoy who you are as a person. The reason I'm saying all that is because with that story in particular, I would always rather be the person that makes mistakes and owns them, whether it's pretty, ugly, or anything in between, than to be the person who is two-faced and not genuine and acts like they are friends with everybody to their face but says a bunch of bad, negative shit behind their back. Like, to me, that's just not somebody I want as a friend. It's not somebody I want in my life. And I guess that's probably a big reason why I share all these stories on here from high school, is because I'm truly at peace with everything that happened. And while it may have not always been the prettiest result, and there are some things that I can't even believe that I still did, I lived and I've learned, and the people that want to be around me and care about me have always been there through the good and the bad. And that's why Talks with Tom, my goal with it is to take care of my friends and family, because they've been there for me through everything, and all the good and the bad, the positive and negative. And that is a true friend. That is a true supporter. That is a true positive person in your life. That is what you want in your life. You do not want somebody who, when things are good and you're looking up and you're doing well, then they're around and they're like, "Rah, rah, Tom's so great." But then as soon as you make a mistake, or as soon as you turn your back, or as soon as you're out of earshot, they're like, "Man, fuck that kid. That kid, that kid does this, that kid does that." Like, that type of stuff. You want the friend who has been there for all the good, bad, and everything else, loves it, and he talks the same way about you to your face as he does when you're not around. That's a true friend. That's a genuine relationship. And I'm so glad that I learned that early on in my life, because I don't have a lot of friends, and I'm cool saying that. I don't have a lot of real, genuine friends, because I learned that I would rather have somebody who is truly my friend, is truly there for me, than have somebody who acts like they are, but their actions don't line up with that. You want people around you who enjoy you, so you're not trying to remember, like, okay, what type of person am I when I'm with this group? Or what did I say to them last time I was with them about so-and-so? Like, you don't want to live your life that way. And I just realized in high school, like, a lot of people do. And that's okay. Like, that's okay. It doesn't bother me. But my philosophy is I would rather be the honest asshole who has a few good friends, misunderstood by many, loved by a few, than be everybody's friend and kind of be one of those two-faced motherfuckers who's like, yeah, I'll be cool to your face and nice to you. Like, oh, I'm a nice guy. Like, I'm nice to your face. But I'm an asshole behind your back and I talk a bunch of shit about you. That's not a genuine person. That's not a genuine friend. And that's not somebody that I would ever want to be around personally. So, and like I said, you just live and learn as you go. Like, you're going to figure out who your true friends are. You might think you have a lot of great friends now, but as you grow, mature, and start to chase your dreams, I think that's honestly the biggest thing. Like, once you start to chase your dream and really do what you're passionate about, it's not going to be pretty. You're going to fail a lot. You're going to do a lot of things that you're embarrassed of. You're going to say a lot of things that you might not mean to or regret. But ultimately, if you keep chasing that dream, like, you find that thing that you truly love, you're passionate about, you're obsessed with, and it not only is what you enjoy, but it allows you to be who you really want to be as a person. And I'm not saying that comes overnight. Like, it takes a lot of time to find that, and you never know what that journey is going to look like. Like, I never thought I would fall into movie script writing at any point in my life, and then one day it literally just I kind of like mistakenly fell into it. I was going to drop out of college. I was at the point where I was literally like, if I don't figure out what I want to do with my major, then I'm going to be done with this because I'm wasting so much money. So I literally was just like, I just took some time to myself. Like, I'm going to start doing what I actually want to do with the people who I actually want to do it with. And suddenly I had this great group of friends and this awesome stretch of stories and moments. And I was like, man, maybe I should write movie scripts. And then I started like learning about it and just kind of figured it out from a Word document on. I was like, I fucking love writing movie scripts because I can like write stories about all the people that I love spending time with. And at the time it felt like I was like, wow, this group of friends just like fell into my lap and this awesome opportunity and like this new career path and figured out a way to get through college. Like, my life was really turning around out of nowhere. And it was like, all I did was start taking care of myself and doing the things that I really wanted to do because I felt like it was a calling on something bigger than me. So that's just that's my whole spiel on here. I know that kind of went on a tangent in a direction I didn't really know. But pretty much all I do when I do these podcasts is like, oh, this is a story idea I have today, God. Like, where are you taking me with this? And I'll talk about whatever you want me to talk about. Like, so that's kind of why I go on tangents. Sometimes I'll literally get done with these and be like, I don't even know what I was just saying. I know that sounds kind of goofy, but like, that's really just how I feel about this podcast and social media is like, this is what I want to do with my life because I feel like it's my calling is just to tell stories and not just on social media, but like movie scripts and other stuff. So I don't know. It's just kind of what I fell into. And you know, making this full circle so I didn't lose my train of thought completely is I would have never realized any of this if I didn't just really get hurt a lot in high school by people who weren't genuine and would turn on me in the blink of an eye and talk shit behind my back and act like they were my friends when things were good, but they weren't really there for me when I would make mistakes or just have those moments where it's like, you know, now I look at it like, man, I lived and I learned. But at the time, it was embarrassing and it hurt. And when you make those mistakes and you see who all is actually there for you, there was like 2, maybe 3 people that I would consider my actual friends from high school. And I just learned that very early on and at a young age. And it's honestly why today I appreciate people who are genuine. I appreciate people who are misunderstood for saying things that they might regret or doing something that might be embarrassing because they're trying. And you make mistakes. It doesn't matter what your career path is, what your life looks like, what you're going to do. You make mistakes. And I want the people who are there for all of it, the mistakes, the failures, but also for the success and the moments of positivity, like the things that are really meaningful in your life. You want people who really care about you and genuinely enjoy you, and you feel the same about them. So yeah, that was what I learned from high school. Hope everybody's well. That's today's episode, and we'll be back soon. Talks to Tom. Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more. See no more.